All right. We're going to go ahead and get started, and those who join after, we can help them catch up. Welcome you all to our Give Miami Day PTA and PTSA webinar. We really appreciate you being here, and I know we're a lot of people on the call, so I just want to make sure that you know who is in the room. My name is Jocelyn Nosha Quintana. I am the Vice President of Communications here at the Miami Foundation. And my colleagues who will also be talking during this time, Grace DeWitt, she is our content manager. Alejandra Rodriguez is in charge of and director of Give Miami Day. And we have Grace Draper, who is from Mighty Cause. So Mighty Cause is the platform that we use to make Give Miami Day possible. And so she's integral as she's going to help you learn about how you can register for Give Miami Day today. So I know it is Tuesday evening and we all have families and things to get to, so I want to give you the full spiel now on what we're going to spend our time doing. First of all, I know that we have some folks who may be familiar with Give Miami Day and some who are not. So we want to ground us in what that day is so that you have clarity. And we are going to talk to you a little bit about the ways in which we're trying to show up for your PTAs. First of all, and most importantly, we want to give you the registration basics because our deadline for registering is coming up on October 17th. We also want to tell you about some of the fundraising tools that we have available to you. We're going to mention them very lightly today. We're going to have another webinar to be able to share more because our most important goal is to get you registered, but we want you to know about them. And we also have some new elements this year that can help your PTAs fundraise. And so we want to talk to you about that. And our hope is that we can save some time at the end so that way you can ask any questions that you might have. Does that sound good to everyone? Awesome. All right, so I want to start off by just getting to know who's in the room. So my question for you is, what school are you representing tonight? And are you a Give Miami Day newbie or a veteran? Either way, it's a great answer. So if you guys could just go ahead in the chat and let us know what school you're from and whether you're a veteran or a newbie. And we'll go ahead and take a look at who's here. We have George W. Carver Elementary, newbie, amazing. Reynolds Park, newbie. JC Bermudez Doral. It's going so fast. David Fairchild, newbie. South Miami Middle School, newbie. We've got lots of newbies. That's amazing. I see some veterans. Leewood, Carver Middle, Redlands. I can't even keep up. Tara. My son goes to Tara, so whoever's here from Tara, I have a 10th grader at Tara, so it's great to have you here. Sunset Elementary, veteran, I am a newbie. That's a great way to frame it. So your school may have done it, but I know you may be new to this, and so we want to give you all of the resources that you need. Thank you for being here. So I want to start off by just talking to you, since many of you are newbies. Hopefully you've heard, if we've done a good job, you've heard what Give Miami Day is all about. But if you haven't, that's okay. And I want to make sure that you have an understanding of why and what we do for this day. So Give Miami Day at the most basic level is our design to be able to create financial fuel for over 1,000 nonprofits. That includes PTAs. It is a free mass fundraiser to help nonprofits get the support that they need to continue doing their vital work in the community. The other reason that Give Miami Day is so special and what it is it's a chance to witness overwhelming generosity in our community. We know that our community is generous and we know people give all year round, but there's just something special about watching over 110,000 donations come in one day to stand up for the nonprofits, the PTAs, and all of those doing social good in our community. The third thing that Give Miami Day is, it's a chance for every person to play a role in shaping the Miami that they want. So this day allows people to give to the causes they care about, the nonprofits they care about, the PTAs they care about. And so this is their way to declare what they want for Miami. And it's a way for us to stand together and feel unified. No gift, small or big, is good or bad. Every single gift is valid and helpful for what we're trying to do. And the last thing I want you to know is that it is our greatest annual initiative to help build a greater Miami. If you know the Miami Foundation's goal is to create a greater Miami where everyone can thrive. And the only way that everyone can thrive is, first of all, to address the issues in our community, but also so that everyone stands together, feels proud and belong, to be able to engage and activate, to be able to create that community that we want. I want to acknowledge I see some chats coming through. I cannot see, but I have colleagues who are going to be answering any questions, but we also are going to save time at the end. What I'd love to do for many of you newbies, I want to show you a quick video. It's a summary video from last year, just so that hopefully you can feel the spirit of what this day actually is. So I'm going to go ahead and show that right now.
Starting tomorrow, the City of Miami begins its annual fundraiser for organizations across the city.
Give Miami Day, a 24-hour online campaign.
Raise awareness and inspires all of us.
24-hour fundraising blitz for local charities.
Dozens of organizations are on the receiving end of some generous monetary gifts.
It is barely 10 o'clock in the morning, and we already have $14 million from almost 60,000 donations that have come in.
Because Miami deserves that and more. We love you. Let's give Miami $10,000.
Across this community, there are 1,000 organizations. All they do every single day is stand up for Miami, and today is our day to stand up for them.
I hope that gets you as excited as it gets me every time I watch it. To feel the energy in a community when they come together for good is just something that never ceases to amaze me. Something else that I want you to know about Give Miami Day, we raise money for specific nonprofits and PTAs, but we also raise for issue areas. And then that money that is collected for issue areas is then distributed to all of the nonprofits or PTAs that are registered in that area. You all as PTAs and PTSAs are focused in our education and youth category. And so in addition to the money that you raise within the fundraising campaign that you design for your school community, you also are part of that issue area category. And so as you can see, we are trying to reach all of the issues that affect Miami and make sure that all of the nonprofits doing good are represented to be able to get the support that they need. I also want to share a little bit about why we do this. So it seems, I'll start from the end and go forward. It seems important and it's clear that we want to raise serious dollars because it's important for us to be able to fuel a stronger nonprofit ecosystem. But I also want you to know here at the Miami Foundation, our secondary goal is to create a Miami where people feel proud to call this place home. We are a city where we are from all places of the world. And we come here to Miami, and many people still think of another place as home. And the truth is that for us to create a thriving community, folks need to be willing to invest in the community they live in. And the way you do that is to get them to feel proud to call this place home. And so our bet is that if we can continue to grow Give Miami Day over the years, what we'll see is that we'll see more engagement and a sense of pride and more people calling Miami home, which then allows for greater civic engagement and greater problem solving for the issues that we're facing. So let's talk about the trajectory of Give Miami Day. The growth from the community, because it's not our growth, this is the giving from Miami, has grown exponentially in the last 5 years. So you can see that we've doubled in the number of unique donors. In 2019, we had just 22,000, almost 23,000. And last year, we had 51,577 households show up. Yet still, I know that I live in a city of 2.7 million people. And so while this is fantastic, we're only scratching the surface of the potential of what this could be in terms of supporting our nonprofit and social good ecosystem. And so what I'd love to do is I'd love to start talking specifically about how this could benefit the PTAs. And before I pass it off to my colleague Grace, I want to say one of the reasons why we've decided to be so explicit in inviting PTAs, they've always participated, but we really want you to be involved this year because we know the wraparound support that you provide to the education sector and to our children, to my children. And we also know that nonprofits are strapped and are having a very hard time being able to complete their services that they want to provide with funding cuts, et cetera. And you all are always there standing in, finding ways to go above and beyond. to ensure that our kids are not just getting education in the classrooms, but they have all of the support to be able to realize their maximum potential. In order to do that, you all need funds to do that work. And so we want to make sure you know how to get involved so that hopefully we can enable you to also channel funds back into your PTAs. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to my colleague Grace to talk to you a little bit more about what that could mean for you.
Thank you so much, Jocelyn. So, if she didn't say it already, Give Miami Day is our region's largest day of giving. And in fact, it's one of the biggest giving days in the entire nation. And you get to participate as a PTA for free. We know that putting on a fundraiser is a heavy lift. And so we are doing that heavy lifting for you. The funds that you receive are 100% flexible, which means that you can use them however you see fit, whether that's new equipment for the PE coach or new library or new books for the library. However you want to spend the money, it's general operating funds that your PTA will receive through Give Miami Day. It's a way to engage your entire school community. And we'll talk a little bit about beyond just fundraising, an in-person way that we're really excited about, this new for this year, our Give Miami Day 5K Race and Festival. That's an in-person way for you to engage your entire school community. In addition, we provide extensive capacity building support, which we will also talk about in a little bit more detail later in this session. These are workshops and webinars and slide decks and worksheets that share all of our collective knowledge and best practices to really empower you to run a successful Give Miami Day fundraising campaign. Another reason why we say that everyone's donation goes further on this day is because we at the Miami Foundation spend the lead up to Give Miami Day securing all kinds of matching dollars from sponsors, for also to fund our bonus pool, which is, like Jocelyn said, we distribute money evenly across all of those 10 issue areas. So we get extra dollars to help fund that education and youth pool in your case. In addition, there are prize dollars that are given out throughout the day on Give Miami Day. And we'll chat a little bit more about those as well later in the presentation. I want to take you through those of you who are veterans and those of you who are newbies alike. You're going to help us up these numbers. I want to take you through the numbers of PTA participation on Give Miami Day last year. So last year we had 29 PTAs participate. We know that there's hundreds of PTAs in our community, so it's our goal to eventually get everyone on board. Looking forward to having some of you newbies join the fray this year. The total amount raised by those 29 PTAs was over $440,000. The highest fundraising school secured over $80,000, and the average raised was more than $15,000. Most donations to PTAs came in at over $100, and in total, there were over $4,000 that went to PTAs. So hopefully that makes you even more excited about what's possible for you this year. The most important thing at this point is to get you registered. And with that, I am going to hand it off to Grace Draper, who's going to walk you through step by step what registration looks like.
Awesome. Thank you, Grace. I'm so excited to talk to you all about how to register for this year's Give Miami Day. There are 2 steps to registration, so we'll walk you through everything you need to know about eligibility and completing the registration process tonight. As far as eligibility, in order to participate in Give Miami Day, you must be an actively qualified tax-exempt 501c3, a private operating foundation, education institution, which is you all, religious organization or government social benefit agency, and a project with an established IRS 501c3 fiscal sponsor. In addition, you must offer programming in Miami-Dade County. Of course, this is Give Miami Day, so you have to offer programming in Give Miami-Dade area, Miami-Dade County, and you will need to be actively registered with the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. So you'll definitely want to check up on that website. A little bit about the timeline for Give Miami Day. Registration has been open since August 1st, so hoping to see some of you have already registered. If you have not registered yet, that's totally fine. You can register through October 17th, which is just 17 days away. Just thinking if you are new to Give Miami Day, I would recommend at least getting your registration started this week to ensure that we have a page for you, an established organization, 501c3, with you on the site. And then also time to fill out the form. There's a questionnaire that you'll have to fill out and get set up on the site. So I would recommend if you are new to start registration this week, at least get your form started. If you are returning, as late as next week, but definitely sooner than later. So start that registration by next week. After registration closes, early giving will start on November 15th. The 16th is the 5K Race and Festival, and then November 20th is Give Miami Day. It's gonna fly by. So what do you need to know about registration? Every organization must register to participate in Give Miami Day. So you must not only register, but complete your to-do list, part 2 of the registration that we'll talk about in a little bit, and then you will receive an email once you are approved for registration. We already have your IRS information on site with your profile. So if you are a registered 501c3 or a past participant, your profile will be waiting on the site for you. You are not required to upload a copy of your certificate of solicitation. That is just something you must have on the side. And then just a reminder, as we've been saying, there are 2 parts to registration, your registration form and your to-do list. So what to know about registration specifically for PTAs? You must submit an EIN that is associated with a valid 501c3 organization. So please don't submit your SunBiz number or other identifier. We need just your EIN. If you are not sure where to find your EIN, I would talk to your PTA leadership or the school you're associated with. Since PTA representatives often use personal email addresses, we cannot always immediately recognize your affiliation with your page. So we do our due diligence to ensure that admins of pages on our site are truly associated with that organization. So we will request documentation to confirm that this email truly is connected to PTA to prevent everyone from any kind of scam or fraudulent account. So definitely, like I said, if you're new, especially register this week, next week at the latest, just to give us time. And if you are new, kind of think about how we can verify your status to the PTA, some kind of documentation of your relationship with the PTA through your email address.
Grace, I'm sorry to interrupt. I see some hands going up. I just want to let you all know we have time saved at the end for any questions and answers. So please make sure you write them down because we're happy to answer any questions that you have. Okay?
Awesome. Thanks, Jocelyn. So a little bit about how to register on the site. So this is once you are on givemiamiday.org, you will click on login in the top right corner. If you're a returning user, you can simply log in with your previous year's login. If you forgot your password, that's okay. Just use your reset password. Otherwise, you'll create an account. If you have a PTA associated email, I highly recommend using that so we can easily verify your association with your PTA org. Once you've logged in, you will then click on register here on the front page of the site. Once you've logged in, the site will refresh automatically to this home page. Once you've clicked on register here, you will find the page that has the registration module that looks like this on that page. So first you'll need to enter your EIN in that search line to find your PTA. If you're not sure your EIN, you can try to find it by name if you want to type out your PTA name. However, EIN is the most likely to get you there the fastest. If you are a returning user, you can just click and go with that example radio button on the screen. If you're a returning user, we know you're an admin of the org, you can just click and go to continue to registration. If for some reason you can't find your PTA by EIN, by name, or any of the above, just click that Create It Now link and it will send a form with information to our support team so that we can get you set up on the site. So once you have identified your organization, you will click Select to continue and the form will open right there on the screen. You will answer all of the questions on the form that the Miami Foundation is asking, and then you can either save and finish later or submit the form on the spot. I highly recommend, again, if you're going in this week just to ensure you have an account or are getting set up, you can always save and finish later with the form, but at least establishing yourself on the site is a good idea. If you've clicked Save and Finish Later, you can easily resume your registration form from your dashboard overview screen by clicking that link that says Complete Registration on the screen. Alternatively, when you click Save and Finish Later, it will send an email to your email address with a direct link to continue your registration right from there, so look for that email as well. And then once you've completed your registration form, once you have admin access to your dashboard, you will want to log in, go to your organization dashboard, and check out your to-do list. Especially if this is your first year participating, there are a few things that are required, as you can see on the screen. So you will need to click on each one and complete those items in order to get registered for Give Miami Day. The great thing about this list is when you click on an item, it will take you where the setting is. So for example, thank you page, if you click on that, it's going to take you to your thank you page to make those updates. Your registration will not be approved until the required items are complete. And I do want to note that when you are filling out your About section on the site, you need at least 50 words for that to be considered complete. So again, copy paste from your website or write something up as long as it's 50 words or more. And then I'm going to pass it back to the lovely Miami Foundation team, Ale, to talk about fundraising for Give Miami Day.
Thank you, Grace. Before we move in, I just want to make sure, do we have any questions regarding the registration segment of that Grace just presented? Sandra.
I just want to share, you'd mentioned in there that we need our certificate from the Department of Agriculture, but local PTAs are not registered for a solicitation document from the Department of Agriculture. We only have our 501c3 documentation from Florida PTA directly.
Thank you for clarifying that. That is for nonprofits, for general 501c3 nonprofits. And which PTA are you from?
I'm the treasurer of the county PTA.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Thank you so much, Sandra. And Sheska?
Yes, hi. So my school has been doing this for years, but I'm new. However, the last person that was head of Give Miami is no longer at the school as they have gone on to another school. And I noticed that when I went to register, there's a pretty lengthy just like a questionnaire as far as like just lots of numbers and everything. And I wanted to know if there was any way for me to get historicals of what our school has answered in the past to make sure that I get answers that are similar, because what I don't want is for this to be totally wild because it's a whole new PTA. And I don't know if that's something that is possible to get or to get help with.
Grace Draper, I think.
Yeah, I actually responded to your message in the chat right about the time you were talking. I can look up last year's registration form for you if you want to just send me in the chat your PTA name.
Perfect.
And we can get that info for
I'll
you.
also give you the PTA email. Thank you.
Thank you. So
I was going to say, I did the same thing and they emailed it to me. Your helpline emailed me my last year's to get me.
Awesome.
Perfect. Thank you.
And Ale,
So
if I can just share for everyone, so some questions we get are around the length of the registration page. And so I just want to make sure you all know why we ask this information and what we use it for. One of the things outside of Give Miami Day is that we want to influence conversations and donations throughout the year. And so we ask a lot of information from the nonprofits to better understand their needs and the things that they're addressing, because then we compile it. You can go to get to the miamifoundation.org and look on our publications page of our report from last year. We create information about the needs and the giving habits in Miami, so that way people can understand where are we doing well, where are there still gaps that we all need to stand up and be able to support those nonprofits in those issue areas. So thank you for taking the time to give us that data, because it allows us to continue the conversation and the giving beyond Give Miami Day.
Yeah. Thank you, Jocelyn. So I'm going to continue and share a little bit of the fundraising tools that we have. I'm going to mention briefly our peer-to-peer fundraising pages, the resource hub and capacity building opportunities, and then share a little bit about prices and matching funds that we have available. So if we go to the next page, I actually want to highlight Sunset Elementary School, and I believe you're here in the room. Your PTA has done a great job at creating fundraiser pages by grades. So that way, each grade can create their fundraising team, and yeah, the parents are motivated to give, and it becomes kind of like a friendly competition. It helps, be a peer-to-peer fundraising. It's great because it has a multiplier effect. You get to one person, and that person shares that fundraiser with their network, and you're able to quantify how many people are giving through that specific fundraising page. So we have plenty of tools that we're going to share with you afterwards as well, with specific videos of how you can create your own fundraiser page. And again, this is a great way to implement and be able to fundraise even more through the tools offered by the platform. If you go to the next slide, you can see an example. If this is how it looks once you open that specific fundraiser page. It is, an example by a classroom. You can see how many donors, how many donations. You can set a goal, and it has a link that's very easy to click and join the team. So we definitely encourage exploring and trying this tool if you haven't done already. Then I also want to highlight our resource hub. We're going to share the link here on the chat, but everything that you can learn about Give Miami Day, the important dates, all of our capacity building opportunities, whether in person or virtual, and branding resources, art toolkits, other fundraising tips and best practices, they're all here at the resource hub. So we want you to use this tool as much as you can. You can go back anytime. You can also sign up to receive our emails. You can see the link there at the resource hub, and we update that. After every session, we'll go in and update with videos if it's online, or if it's an in-person session, we'll still upload the slides and the worksheet packages. So it really is a tool for you to use as much as you can, and as you're thinking about the campaigns as well. So if we go to the next slide, I also want to mention that we have different capacity building opportunities, and I want you all to invite you all to join us. We have two in-person sessions. We call them set sessions because they're part of a Ready, Set, Go campaign to build capacity, where we talk about fundraising strategies on how to best identify your donor networks, how to project plan for a strong campaign. So the next following sessions on October 9th and 16th, they're both exactly the same, but they're in different locations. So our West Miami date will actually be in Hialeah, and then we are going to South Dade, Miami, for the session on the 16th. So we'll also send the links, but if you want to go also to the resource hub, you can click and sign up already. These are in-person sessions. They happen on those Thursdays, and it's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then we have two other opportunities on October 30th and November 6th, where these are virtual sessions, kind of like mastermind sessions, where we really encourage peer learning. And the first session is more beginner focused, and then the second one is more of a peer-to-peer strategy of Give Miami Day, where participants can share their experiences and get best practices. And finally, I want to share about some of the prizes and matching funds and opportunities that we provide through Give Miami Day. The first one is, for every $25 that your organization receives, there is a $25 match up to the first 40 unique donors. So that means that you can have up to $1,000 match in your organization for every donor that gives $25 up to $40 unique donors. So that's an easy way to encourage everyone to give at the minimum, and you're going to be able to immediately access that matching opportunity. And then we have prizes that we give out throughout the day. So here's an example of the very first gift received on Give Miami Day last year, and it happened to be a PTA, Coral Reef High School. We have other prizes that are time framed, so the most number of unique donors within the morning session or in the afternoon. And then we also have some that are related to social media. So show us your donation dance, and the organization that receives the most likes gets a prize. And also, to be fair, we divide these in 3 categories based on small, medium, and large organizations. So that gives more opportunity for everyone to participate in an equal manner. So we're very excited. So stay tuned. We will be announcing the list of all the prizes towards the end of this month. So you can, share this with your donors, with the parents, and make giving fun as well. And on that note, I will hand it back to Grace.
Thank you, Ali. So earlier I mentioned something brand new for 2025 that we're really excited about, the Give Miami 5K Race and Festival. It's a 5K run walk that is taking place in downtown Miami at Maurice Ferré Park, which is the park right next to Pam. And it's really the way for us to kick off what is actually closer to a week of giving, because while Give Miami Day happens on November 20th, we actually have an early giving period that starts November 15th. And this race happens in the morning of November 16th. So what's unique about this 5K is that all of the race registration fees, so all of the fees that someone pays to sign up to participate, they can then, as they're registering, decide which nonprofit that is participating in Give Miami Day that they want to direct that race registration fee towards. So this becomes one more fundraising mechanism, avenue for all of the nonprofits, including the PTAs that are participating in Give Miami Day. And after the race, there is the festival. The festival is open to the community at large, regardless of whether or not folks are choosing to run or walk in the 5K. And the festival itself is going to have live entertainment, family-friendly activities. We're going to have nonprofits on site that are introducing the community at large to the type of work that they do. We're going to have other sorts of interactive activities, fun zones, wellness zones. It's going to be a really great event. And we're just especially excited to have Give Miami Day really have like a physical presence in the community this year. Other reason to be excited about the Give Miami 5K is because in the spirit of bringing PTAs deeper into the fold, we are actually offering a unique opportunity just for you under what's called our Most Generous School contest. So in addition to collecting race registration fees for folks who sign up for the 5K and select your PTA as the recipient of their fee, we are also going to reward the PTAs who drive the most race registrations with additional cash prizes and the title of Most Generous School. So we are able to see how many people are signed up, pledging their race registration fee to each participating PTA, and that will be how we award first, second, and third prizes across elementary, middle, K through 8, and high school categories. We are going to talk a lot more about this in a future webinar. Mark your calendar right now for October 21st at 7 p.m. where we'll really dive into maximizing fundraising via the 5K. Last thing, important thing as we transition into the wrap up and Q&A that I want you to jot down is this support email. I think it sounds like a few folks have already taken advantage of our customer support. We're thrilled that you took advantage. So givemiamiday@miamifoundation.org is the email address you will want to direct any of your questions to. We have folks on our team, folks on Grace Draper's team standing by to guide you through any sort of questions, comments, concerns as you register and beyond. And with that, I think we're ready to open it up to questions. And since I've seen this one come up quite a bit, yes, this presentation is being recorded. We will definitely be distributing it after the fact along with the slides, so don't sweat.
For the 5K run, is there a way that we could get like a QR or something where people would register just for our PTA, like that we could put out to our sixth, seventh, eighth grade groups, like, hey, if you're going to register to go run, here's a great way to support the PTA? Or do they have to fill it out like when they register? Like, can we do something to streamline the people that are going to register from our school for the run?
Yeah, so absolutely, I can answer that one. So first of all, you need to make sure that the PTA is registered for Give Miami Day, and within 24 hours, it shows up on the 5K site, and then there's a link called Find a Cause. I can share it right here on the chat, but that you can find your PTA there, and then you can share that specific link that will take people to your organization to register and run for that race. So that's the link that you can share, and people will be joining your group and fundraising for that PTA directly. So
Perfect.
I'll share the link here, and once you find your PTA there, if you're already registered, you can access that link. I think we have some other questions.
Yes, hi. I had a question about the 5K and the registration for kids. So I know that if a parent wants their child to run the 5K, they also have to pay the full price, right? Either the $45 or $60 fee. After they do that, can they still participate in the dash, or do they also have to pay for the dash?
So those are separate. So if they want to run with their parents or walk with their parents, they do have to participate in the register for that main race. And then if they do want to have participate in the kids dash, that would be separate. So our recommendation is actually to just show, select one or the other. And
I see Luceli asking, can you show the prize slide again? I'm happy to pull that back up if you have any questions. So let me do that for you all.
And I see a question on, so they're considering the prizes can be split considering school size. So they are based on the size of the school, and we're also doing it by elementary, high school, and K to 12.
K8.
K8, sorry.
Amber, I think you have your hand up.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how do we learn about setting up our own matches? Like if we have a family who's willing to match up to a certain percent or a local business, how do we learn about setting that up?
So you can actually do that through the platform if you have a confirmation of a match that's whether it's from a corporate or a member. Yeah, you can.
I was trying to look at that today, but it didn't make sense to me how to do it. Is there something that like has like words about it? Because it's just like, I don't know, the page is just, I don't know.
Absolutely.
It don't have an explanation.
I'm going to defer to our colleague Grace Draper here. Do you want to share a little bit about the match? And we can certainly share some tools on how to set that up.
Thanks.
Sorry, I was helping someone in the chat. So just a question about the match tool in general.
Yeah, how do we use it if we find our own like families who offer a match or local business to offer a match?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can set up a match on your page. I'm gonna pull the support article because it has a screenshot walkthrough of how to set it up. And I feel like that
Yes,
might be
that's what I want.
easier. And then if you need
Yes.
more help after that, just write to support@mightycause.com.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. I'll put it in the chat
Thank
for
you. Thanks.
Marissa asked, is there a maximum number of registrants allowed for the Kids Dash? Marissa, I will say we have not considered what a maximum would be because this is our first time launching it. And so no, there's not a maximum number. And if you blow our hopes and our goals out of the water, we will be so grateful and we will find a way to make sure that they can all run. And so no, we haven't set a maximum. Challenge accepted. That sounds great. I just want to ask while I'm sharing the screen, Lucely, you had asked to share the slide. Was there a question that you had related to the slide?
Sorry, thank you so much. I actually meant for the 5K. I thought there were some prizes related to the 5K, and I missed that slide.
Perfect.
I'm trying to
Yep.
do homework with my son.
Yep.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thanks so much.
Yep. Are there any other questions that you all have?
Hi, yes. This is Ruth again. I have another question that somebody asked. If there is any consideration in you all moving the early bird registration deadline from October 10th till later, just because of how close this webinar has been to the 5K webinar that happened this afternoon. Like if there is another way to move that up so that they can have a better opportunity to get families to participate with their student.
Yep. So we can't make any promises, but we also are considering the same thing. There are a lot of moving pieces and dependencies for us to be able to make that decision, but it's actually a conversation that our organization is having this week. And our hope is that we might be able to extend it a bit longer so that way more can sign up for the early bird, but we can't guarantee it. It's something that we're trying to think through, but thank you for raising that. And if we do, we'll make sure we announce it nice and big.
Helen, do you mean registering twice for the race?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. You can, hopefully you'll have, you can extend that invitation to your network, family, friends, so you're able to support more organizations. And also, I believe we did mention it, but the race and festival happen on early giving on Give Miami Day. So donations for all nonprofits and all organizations that are signed up for Give Miami Day are open that day. So we're hoping and encouraging everyone to donate beyond the race as well.
Ruth, I think you have another question.
Yes, Alejandra, sorry. One of my clients was asking, and this is a really good question I'm trying to figure out. They want to know because the registration fee, 100% of it counts towards their Mighty Cause payout. But you guys today said that the dollars from the registrations will actually be counted towards the Give Miami Day goal. Will it show in like a lump sum, or will they actually be able to see each registrant show up in Mighty Cause? Or how will that be attributed to their thermometer?
Yeah, so we will on the back end do an upload of all the runners who designated their donations to the different nonprofits and PTAs, and they will be able to see it right before Give Miami Day, before November 20th on their platform, and they will be able to access and see who's the information about the donors and the amount. And so, yeah, they will get that line by line information about the runners.
That's super helpful. Thank you, because I know a lot of them are pushing for stewardship right during the time of donation. So, they wanted to know who the person was so they can thank them. Because I think right now when you click on the team link or like the nonprofit name and it shows you who it is, it just gives you first name but no last name.
Yeah,
So they
and
don't know
unfortunately
who
we
it
cannot
is.
release that information yet, but we will make sure that it is ready by Give Miami Day, and that will be uploaded and seen on their ticker as well. So it does count to Give Miami Day funds as well.
Awesome. Amber, I think you have a question.
Sorry, took a second to get my screen to unmute. Yeah, just quick question. Where can people send checks if they want to donate through like a donor advised fund or something? Would they send it to the organization or to the foundation, or how does that work?
So depending on where you have that donor advised fund, we are actually partnering with external, well, we as a Miami Foundation are allowing our donor advised funds to give on Give Miami Day through the platform. And then we're also partnering with local donor advised funds, and we can share a list within the next 2 weeks of, and you can actually do it through the platform as well. So
but if they're paying out of their own donor advised fund, so like not through another one, if they're paying out of like a personal one, how do they, because that distributes as a check, how do they do that?
So it's not through an institution?
No, just like if somebody has their own personal, like, because a lot of families will have their own donor advised funds set up. And for it to be a qualified distribution, it comes out as a check payable to the nonprofit.
Okay, if you want to leave your email, we might take this offline and I can get you more information about that.
Thanks. I'll put it in the chat.
Thank you.
Christy, I see a question that you say, do you have a link handy for the 5K save the date registration template? Are you asking for a social media template, or can you just clarify what you're looking for there? Social media template? Great. So in the resource hub that we shared on the screen, which you'll find on the Give Miami Day site, at the bottom, there are 3 sections, and there's one section in the middle that are your branding resources. In that, you will find all of the logos for Give Miami Day. You will find the key messages, but you will also find a social media toolkit that includes templates already for the 5K as well as for Give Miami Day. And our intention is that we will continue to add to those as we move through this month, but that way you already have a way to be able to begin promoting that. Thanks, Ale, for putting in that link.
I have a more technical question. I'm not sure if we should do it offline or not, but you know, a lot of the schools are going to do peer-to-peer campaign fundraising, and I know there's a way for you to name, like show the campaign first, since it will usually be under the name of the student. Is that something that is edited on the back end? I believe so, correct? Like how it's visibly on the team page, there's a leaderboard, and the campaigns, the fundraisers tend to be searchable by the name of the campaign or the fundraiser, but currently that's not possible. Is that something you guys will be able to fix?
Do you have a link to your team page from last year that you can share to me?
Yes, let me pull one up.
Okay, I think that would help. And then I will see.
Wait, do you mean like if I have a fundraiser right now, they're not currently searchable on the Give Miami Day page? Only nonprofits show up.
I think you can remove the filter for organizations and move it to all page types.
Yeah, and I mean, the last time I checked, I pardon me, I don't,
Oh, okay.
was that mine won't pop up.
Okay, if you want to start a chat between the two of us in case there's other questions, if you want to send me your PTA name, and then I can just kind of dig in a little bit.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. And if we do find an answer on this, we can come back and tell everybody about the team setting.
Awesome.
Any other questions?
Well, before we wrap up, we will stay on here as well. I want to respect everyone's evenings and the homework and the meals and all of the things that need to get done. I want you to know that we will be making this video recording available, and we will give you access to the presentation as well so that you have all of the details. Please be sure to mark your calendar for October 21st. This is for nonprofits that register. Once they're fully registered, we will send you an invite for you to come to that webinar so we can dive deep into the 5K with some ideas and so that you can think about how to get your community involved as a way to be able to increase those dollars that you're raising for the 5K, I mean, for your PTA. The final thing I would want to say is when we first started talking about wanting to share with you all what getting the PTAs involved, we got the question, what's the catch? Why are you doing this? What's the catch? I want you all to know there is no catch other than we exist as the Miami Foundation to create a greater Miami where we all can thrive. And the only way we can do that is if we stand together, we support each other, and we make sure that the people who are spending day in and day out doing good to address and make sure our kids are taken care of and all of the issues in our community are addressed. That's why we do it. And so this is why it is 100% free. It is 100% flexible dollars. All money that comes through goes directly to you all. And we just, it gives us great joy to be able to celebrate this day with you. So we are available. You have that email, any questions that you have, any support that you need as you're registering. And we hope that this time spent this evening has convinced you to be part of Give Miami Day with us this year. So thank you guys so much for giving us your Tuesday evening. And we will stick around if you have any questions. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Aisha, it looks like you have a question.
Yes, hi. Hi, everyone. First and foremost, thank you so much for the detailed presentation. I have to say I'm newly president this year, and my school has been trying to sign up in time for apparently years. So, I mean, it's very important to us to be able to make the deadline this year. I know that somebody spoke about the deadline for the 5K being October 10th. I don't know if we're still, because we do have people who run, although our school is not registered with you guys. Sadly, they were never able to make the deadline, but a lot of people actually made it to the 5K and were donating to other schools or other charities. Is that okay? Can they sign up before and then actually eventually, when we are registered and we confirm the registration, can they change their donations and say, hey, I want to donate to this school?
Aisha, I think, thank you for flagging this, and I hope I didn't create confusion for other people as well. I think I lost are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, perfect. I saw your name disappear.
No.
So the deadline to register for the 5K is not October 10th. You can register up until the day of to be part of the 5K. The October 10th is the early bird, so it's a lesser amount. So it's $45 for registration, and after it's $65. But you can absolutely, anyone can sign up until the day of.
Oh, perfect. Thank you for clarification, because
Yeah.
I was sort of worried that there was a cutoff.
No, I'm sorry for that confusion.
No, thank you so much for clarification. Also, I'm actually going to need to reach out to somebody. I'm doing the registration. You guys did find my school with my EIN, which was great. And we do have all the paperwork and everything on hand, which would mean that I could take care of everything tomorrow. However, the only thing is that there are a lot of questions that do not pertain to my specific PTSA, or to any PTSAs. Questions like serving the community. Yes, how many? Sort of like, we're a school in Doral, and we basically serve. We have boundaries, so we do try and help. I mean, when we need hours and stuff, we do help in the community. And I know a lot of people in the community don't all live in the same place. People have families, they live in Doral, have families living in Kendall, and then living like in Broward. So we do extend that far. But I was sort of confused with the questions and how they pertain to my PTSA. I don't want to make a mistake.
So Ale, I'm going to take a stab, and then I want you to fill in any gaps that I might answer. So those questions, Aisha, are primarily for us to help. We're not looking for you to list as many areas that you serve as possible. There's not a right or wrong answer. It's more for us to get a sense of the support that is available across our community and where there is strength and where there are gaps. And so you saying that the community that you serve is in Doral is perfectly fine, because that's where the school is located. And I think that's appropriate, even if there are some students that are commuting. And so don't feel pressure when you're completing the registration to have to feel like this is some sort of evaluation of the quality of the support you guys provide. We know the work you all do. It's more for us to be able to look at the macro data across all of the nonprofits and PTAs to have deeper conversations about where we're doing well as a community and supporting different neighborhoods and where we're not.
Okay. Yes, that makes sense. All right. Now I get it. It's just to have an idea of how far our reach and where there's the gaps. Exactly. Okay.
Exactly. Yes. 100%.
I also noticed that while I was filling out, there are a few mistakes in, like, the name of the school and stuff, and I accidentally said submit just to correct some of the information, and it says that I sent a registration. So I don't know who I should reach out to. This was not because I had saved so I can continue tomorrow with my treasurer, who actually has been part of this is the second year treasurer, so he knows a little bit better what to answer certain questions. How would I go about canceling that? I don't want it to remain pending because it actually keeps telling me now this organization has already submitted a registration request.
Grace, should maybe you reach out to Give Miami Day at miamifoundation.org, and we'll be able to clarify that and make sure that you're able to
Go back.
submit. Yeah.
Okay, go back and then complete it because it's not complete. I was sort of answering what I could and then leaving out what I didn't want to answer yet without the advice of the treasurer. So when I closed, I guess I went somewhere else and tried to fix a name. Like in the address bar, there's a name, somebody's name. And I wanted to fix that, and it shows as if I submitted the request.
Which PTA is this?
I'm Eugenia B. Thomas, K-8 Center. So it says Eugenia B. Thomas Elementary PTA. It's actually Eugenia B. Thomas K-8 Center, and it's PTSA. So I guess eventually when you guys are able to correct that for me, I'll just correct the name.
Okay, for sure. We can follow up on this.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So all right, I'll drop in that email.
Awesome. Thank you, Aisha, for
Thank
being
you
here.
so much, ladies. Thank you so much.
No worries. Have a good night. Christina, Allison, Janae, or Alexandra, I don't know if you had any follow-up questions we can help you with.
No, just trying to see if their questions help them. I mean, I don't know.
Perfect. No,
Brought
that's
any
fine
light
to
into
listen
it.
in. Totally fine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.